My own family treated me like trash, so I walked away. So, not even sure where to start with this dumpster fire, but here goes. I, 27M, recently went to my brother's wedding, and honestly, I wish I hadn't. Let me back up. My brother, Sam, 30M, is like the golden child. Always has been. Captain of the football team, valedictorian, first to get married. You know the type. My parents basically shine a flashlight under his face at every family gathering like he's the second coming of Christ. And me? I'm the weird little brother who went to art school, has tattoos, and didn't exactly take the straight and narrow path. Whatever. I made peace with that a long time ago. Or at least, I thought I had. Until Sam's wedding. Because wow, nothing like a wedding to really hammer home exactly where you stand with your loving family. The ceremony itself was fine. Gorgeous, actually. Big fancy venue. Twinkly fairy lights. Tears and slow-motion kisses. The whole Hallmark movie vibe. I even got a text the morning of the wedding from Sam himself. Can't wait to see you. Bro, means a lot you're here. I smiled. Thought maybe, just maybe, things were different now. Spoiler, they were not. Fast forward to the reception. Everyone's being ushered into the beautifully decorated ballroom. Crisp white linens, crystal glasses, fancy-ass name cards at every seat. And then there's me. No name card. No spot at a table. Instead, one of the frazzled wedding coordinators practically drags me over to the back corner of the room, where there's a single folding chair tucked by the kitchen doors. No table. No centerpiece. No place setting. Just a damn folding chair next to the swinging doors where servers kept bumping into me with trays of mashed potatoes. I just stood there for a second like, surely this is a mistake. It wasn't. I texted Sam, thinking, hey, maybe the seating chart got messed up. No reply. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. Still nothing. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there like some unwanted extra, dodging servers and trying not to cry into my half-warm cocktail. And that's when I saw it. At the family table, dead center, under the sparkling chandelier, they had invited my brother's college roommate to sit. Full place setting. Name card. Fancy gold chair. The guy literally went on one camping trip with Sam freshman year. But apparently, that was more family than me. So yeah, sitting there by the kitchen, trying to blend into the wallpaper, I realized something. I wasn't just an afterthought. I wasn't even a thought at all. I guess I could have left. Honestly, part of me wanted to. Just stand up, flip the folding chair the hell over, and walk out like some scene from a dramatic indie movie. But another part of me, the stubborn, stupid, maybe they'll notice me part, stayed. Big mistake. The dinner started. I picked at a sad little plate of rolls someone finally tossed my way after an hour. Everyone else was getting plated salmon and filet mignon. I got a basket of dinner rolls like some stray dog at the back door. I kept waiting for Sam to come over. To notice. To say something. He didn't. Neither did my parents, who were laughing it up at their VIP table, toasting with champagne. At one point, Sam and his new wife, let's call her Becky, because of course her name is Becky, did the whole newlywed, walk around and greet guests thing. When they got to my folding chair, Sam gave me this half smile and said, glad you could make it, bro, and then immediately turned to the next table to take a selfie with Becky's sorority sisters. No pulling up a real chair. No, hey, let's fix this. No, hey, why is my brother sitting next to the swinging kitchen doors dodging flying forks? Nothing. I sat there, smiling like an idiot, pretending like it didn't bother me. But inside I was breaking into a million sharp little pieces. The final straw? During the family toasts portion of the night, the DJ called up important family members to give speeches. Parents, grandparents, siblings. Except, guess who didn't get called? Yup, me, the guy in the folding chair. Instead, they had Becky's hairdresser's husband stand up and talk about family values like he was the Pope. I swear, if it hadn't been so pathetic, it would have been hilarious. That was it. I stood up, folding chair squeaking like it was crying too, and quietly made my way out. No goodbye. No announcement. No scene. Just gone. I drove home in silence. No radio. No podcasts. Just the soft hum of the tires and the sound of my own heart breaking. Because it hit me hard. I wasn't really part of their perfect family narrative. I was a loose-end a background character. Someone they tolerated to keep up appearances. Not a son, not a brother. Just a name that could drop when it was convenient and forget when it wasn't. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Maybe it's not that deep. Maybe it was just bad planning. But when you're the only one sitting by the kitchen in a room filled with people you share blood with, it feels pretty damn deep. When I got home, I didn't even take off my jacket. I just sat on the couch in the dark, staring at nothing. Max, my dog, hopped up beside me, resting his head on my knee like he could feel the sadness radiating off me. Good boy. The only one in this whole mess who'd never made me feel like an afterthought. The next morning, I woke up to a text from my mom. Hope you had a nice time last night. So proud of both my boys. I stared at it, thumbs hovering over the keyboard. I wanted to say, are you serious? Did you even see me shoved by the kitchen like an unwanted guest? I wanted to scream. Your pride is as fake as those family photos you love to post. Instead, I just put my phone down. Because honestly, I was tired. Tired of begging for scraps of affection. Tired of pretending it didn't hurt. Tired of acting like the bare minimum was enough. It wasn't. Not anymore. Later that week, Sam posted a whole photo album from the wedding on Facebook. Dozens of pictures. The fancy family table. The toasts. The dancing. No sign of me. Not one photo. It was like I hadn't even been there. I guess to them, I wasn't. And yeah, that hurt more than I care to admit. It was like losing something you thought you already lost years ago, but realizing the final nail just got hammered in. I stopped checking the album after that. I stopped checking everything, honestly. Stopped answering texts. Stopped picking up calls. If being invisible is what they wanted, fine. I'd give it to them. In spades. The silence was deafening. No texts. No calls. No, where have you been messages. It's like the second I stopped chasing them, they stopped pretending I mattered. At first, it stung. Bad. I'd check my phone out of habit, still half expecting some apology text. Some, hey, sorry about the chair message. Nothing. Just radio silence and Sam's stupid wedding photos blowing up my newsfeed. Eventually, I deleted Facebook. And honestly, it felt like breathing fresh air for the first time in months. No more scrolling through pictures of people who couldn't even save me a real seat at their celebration. I started pulling away from all of it, mentally, physically, emotionally. I stopped going to family dinners. Stopped answering the hey, we're getting together for brunch group chats. And you know what? No one came knocking. No one asked if I was okay. I realized the only time they ever wanted me around was when it made them look good. Family photos. Holiday cards. Birthday parties where they needed all the siblings for a cute Instagram post. But when it came to the actual real, messy parts of family, I was on my own. So yeah, I made the decision to be on my own. For real. And God, it hurt. Because no matter how tough you think you are, walking away from your family feels like cutting off a limb. But sometimes, the infection is worse than the amputation. I threw myself into work. Started focusing on hobbies again. Took Max on longer walks. Got back into painting, something I hadn't touched in years. Every day hurt a little less. Every day, my world felt a little lighter. One night, maybe 6 months after the wedding, I got a call from my dad. It buzzed twice before I hit decline. A minute later, a text. Family dinner Sunday. Hope you can make it. No apology. No acknowledgement. Just an expectation that I'd fall back into line like nothing happened. Old me would have said yes. Would have shown up, tucked my feelings into a tiny box, and smiled through the ache. New me? I didn't even reply. And for the first time in forever, I didn't feel guilty. I felt free. Max and I spent that Sunday hiking up in the hills instead. Just me, my dog, and miles of quiet peace. No fake smiles. No folding chairs by the kitchen. Just space to breathe. Space to finally heal. Healing isn't a straight line. Some days, I'd wake up feeling like a brand new person, like I'd finally cut all the dead weight loose and could breathe again. Other days, not so much. I'd see a random family out having brunch and feel that stupid ache in my chest. I'd overhear people laughing about some sibling drama and think, at least you guys get invited to the table. But slowly, things started shifting. I built my own life, piece by piece. I signed up for painting classes at the local community center. Max and I became regulars at the dog park. I even made a couple of new friends. People who didn't know anything about my family history. People who liked me for me, not for who I was supposed to be. One Saturday afternoon, while I was cleaning out old junk, I found a box of stuff from my childhood, dusty photo albums, crayon drawings, a few broken trophies from Little League. I sat there flipping through them, feeling weirdly detached, like I was looking at someone else's life. And maybe I was, because the kid in those photos, he still believed. He believed he belonged. He believed family meant something. He didn't know yet that sometimes love is conditional. That sometimes the people who are supposed to protect you are the ones who hurt you most. I put the photos back in the box. Not out of anger. Out of acceptance. That life was over. That boy was gone. But the man sitting here now? He was building something better. One quiet, stubborn, hopeful day at a time. A few months later, I got a letter. Real paper, real ink. From Sam. I almost didn't open it. Almost tossed it straight into the trash. But curiosity got the better of me. It wasn't an apology. It wasn't even close. It was a wedding photo, a family shot. Sam, Becky, my parents, cousins, uncles, aunts. All smiling. Underneath, in Sam's handwriting. Wish you could have been part of this. I stared at it for a long time. At first, I felt that old, familiar stab of pain. But then, I laughed. Really laughed. Because I was never part of that. Not really. You can't lose something you never truly had. You can't mourn a fantasy. So I put the photo down, scratched Max behind the ears, and picked up my paintbrush. My life wasn't picture perfect, but it was real, and it was mine. You know that moment when you realize you've officially outgrown the people who raised you? Yeah, that hit me like a freight train one random Tuesday afternoon. I was sitting at my tiny kitchen table, sketching out ideas for a new painting, when my phone buzzed. Group chat. Family barbecue this weekend. Everyone's invited. Everyone. Sure. I stared at the message, heart weirdly calm. Old me would have agonized over it. Should I go? Should I stay home? Would it look bad if I didn't show? New me? New me just muted the conversation and went back to my sketchbook. Because showing up where you're not wanted isn't noble. It's self-harm. Later that week, Chris, one of the few family members who hadn't drunk the Sam and Becky Kool-Aid, shot me a text. Not going to the barbecue either. Want to grab burgers instead? I laughed out loud. God, I'd miss simple, honest connections like that. No guilt. No pressure. Just, hey, want to hang out? We met up at this greasy diner downtown. Max came too, because honestly, he's better company than most humans. Over burgers and fries, Chris finally said what I think both of us had been dancing around for months. You know, you deserve better, right? I looked at him, burger halfway to my mouth. Better than what? Better than begging people to love you, he said, dead serious. I didn't have an answer. But damn, it sat heavy in my chest. Because deep down, I knew he was right. All those years I'd spent trying to fit myself into a family that barely had space for me, that wasn't love. That was survival. And survival isn't living. We sat there for hours, talking about everything and nothing. Plans for the future. Dumb memories from when we were kids. Our shared love of terrible 80s action movies. It felt real. It felt like family should feel. When I finally got home, Max curled up at my feet, snoring like a chainsaw, and I sat there looking around my little apartment. It wasn't fancy. It wasn't Instagram perfect. But it was mine, built with my own two hands. Brick by painful, stubborn brick. And for the first time in a long time, I realized something. Maybe family isn't who shares your DNA. Maybe family is who shows up for you when it's raining sideways and the world feels like it's falling apart. Maybe family is who makes you laugh at a greasy diner over cheap burgers and bad coffee. Maybe family is the ones who see you, really see you, and choose you anyway. And maybe I'd finally found mine. You ever get blindsided by your own peace? Like, you're so used to chaos that when life gets quiet, it almost feels wrong? Yeah, that was me. For weeks after that burger night with Chris, I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop. Some passive-aggressive text. Some guilt trip. Some, we miss you at family dinner, bomb disguised as love. But nothing came. Silence. And honestly, it was beautiful. I filled my days with simple things. Morning walks with Max, afternoon painting sessions where I'd lose hours in colors and brush strokes. Late-night drives with no destination, just windows down and crappy 90s music blasting. For the first time in my life, I wasn't performing for anyone. Not trying to be the good son. Not trying to be the cool brother. Just being. And it felt incredible. One Saturday, Chris and I decided to take a weekend camping trip. Just us, Max, and a couple of tents way out by the lake. Sitting by the fire that night, beer in hand, Max curled up in a ball of snoring fur, Chris turned to me and said, "You know you're the bravest one in the family, right?" I blinked. Brave? Dude, I bailed on a barbecue and live off frozen pizzas. Not exactly a hero's journey. Chris laughed, but shook his head. No, man. You stopped pretending. You chose yourself. That takes guts most people don't have. I didn't know what to say to that. Because for so long, I thought walking away was weakness. Running away. Giving up. But maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was survival. Maybe it was self-respect. And maybe, just maybe, it was the start of something better. As the fire crackled and the stars blinked overhead, I made a quiet promise to myself. I would never fold myself small enough to fit into someone else's idea of family again. I would never beg for a seat at a table where love was conditional. I would build my own table, even if it was small, even if it was messy, even if it was just me and a snoring golden retriever. It would be mine, and it would be enough. Somewhere along the way, peace became my new normal. Not the kind of peace that's loud and triumphant. The quiet kind. The kind that feels like breathing without a weight on your chest for the first time in forever. It's funny, though. When you find peace, people notice. And sometimes they hate it. It didn't take long before the cracks started forming back in the family. Little things at first. Sam's posts started getting weirder. Less perfect. Less curated. Rumors drifted in through the grapevine. Whispers about Becky not being as perfect as everyone thought. About money troubles. About fights. I stayed out of it. Not my circus. Not my monkeys. But then one night, out of nowhere, I got a call from Sam. I stared at the screen like it was radioactive. It had been almost a year. Against my better judgment, I answered. "Hey, bro," Sam said, voice tight, fake cheery. "Long time, huh?" I said nothing. "Listen, man, we're having a little get-together this weekend. Just family. We'd love to see you." I almost laughed. "We'd love to see you." The same people who couldn't save me a seat at a wedding. The same people who left me by the kitchen like an afterthought. Now they loved to see me. I wanted to ask, is there a folding chair with my name on it again? Instead, I just said, "I'm good, man." Silence on the line. "Come on," Sam pushed. "It's family. Family." That word used to have so much weight. Now it just sounded hollow. "I'm building my own family these days," I said quietly. "Good luck with yours." And I hung up. No guilt. No second-guessing. Just peace. Max jumped up onto the couch, tail thumping, as if he could feel the shift too. I scratched behind his ears, smiling to myself. Because I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't broken. I wasn't chasing ghosts. I was living. And that was more than enough. You know what's wild? After everything, the folding chair, the ghosting, the fake smiles, they still thought I'd come running back. Like nothing had happened. Like I'd forgotten. Spoiler, I hadn't. Not even close. I didn't show up to their family get-together. I didn't send a text. I didn't send a card. I didn't even think about it. Instead, I spent that weekend painting a new piece. Huge, chaotic, messy, and absolutely mine. Max slept at my feet while I worked, snoring his approval. No fake smiles. No backhanded comments. No folding chairs by the kitchen. Just me. Living. Breathing. Thriving. And them? They kept spinning their perfect little stories. Let them. I'm not part of their fairy tale. I never was. And honestly, I wouldn't even show up for the ending.